Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of ABS. You're watching MinaTV. If this is your first time watching us, guys, go ahead and subscribe, share with your friends, and also follow us on Instagram, the ABS Show. Also follow MinaTV Africa on Instagram. If you guys been watching our show, we do a lot of new things here and there. We've done many countdowns. If you haven't watched our countdowns, just after this episode, go back and watch our countdowns. We do countdowns here as well. And today is no different, guys. We are going in today. I'm a little scared because we are talking about African leaders, the African president.
I'm scared too, Charlie.
So on ABS today, we are counting down 10 African presidents that needs to step down.
They need to go.
That we want to see go. Okay, so are you guys ready?
I don't know if I'm ready, but I think we have to be ready. So,
all right. So we're gonna start from what? Number 1 or number 10? How are we doing this countdown?
It's not in any particular order. Let's just get it done.
Let's just get it done.
Get her done.
10 presidents that gotta go.
All right. So number 1 on the list, all right, is none other than Miss Wati the Third. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Swati.
Miss Wati?
Swati. Like, Swati.
Swati the Third is the president of Swaziland. All right. So he was basically, been president for a long time. He was born in 1968. His dad was actually the king of Swaziland with over 100 wives. First of all, let's start there. His dad had over 100 wives.
Oh, his dad.
Yes, he also had like a lot of wives as well. This is why I think this president needs to step down. He's very luxurious. He spends a whole lot of money on himself and all his wives. And
how many wives?
How many?
He has a lot of wives.
You say his dad has 100, so maybe he'll have 200.
Over
yeah, he needs to double up.
25 wives.
What? And I think he has 142, right?
Does he have
the current one?
That was like 145.
Wait, does he marry new wives every month or every week?
Day.
Every year.
Listen, what made me choose this guy was that he was accused of kidnapping women. He desired to marry. So he uses force to marry these women.
Wow.
He also brought up a law where it says that people in Swaziland that have A's needs to be labeled, basically.
Oh wow!
That like they have A's, which I didn't understand why he did that, but he's notorious, and I think he needs to step down. So that's why he's on my list.
How long has he been president for?
He's been
for a couple of years, I guess.
He's been president for a long time.
So many specific questions.
But what's with all these African presidents staying in power for so long? Like, is their birthright?
I don't even know.
Everybody quiet.
You see, it's a thing where let's not fail to realize that corruption also goes on in the Western countries. It's not just African presidents that are corrupt. The only difference is that the Western world just has a smarter way or a better way of being corrupt that you might not see it.
It's more hidden.
It's more hidden. They own a lot of Fortune 500 companies, a lot of real estate. So you wouldn't see it right away. You'd be like, oh yeah, President so-and-so, he's a millionaire, but he's a president. Yeah. Whereas in Africa, we're still, it's not that we're underdeveloped, but we're still working on it. We're not as structured is the word.
Yeah.
In Africa, we're not as structured. So when our presidents are being corrupt, we're able to see it more visibly. But Western presidents are corrupt too. But the thing is that anyone in power wants to stay in power. Who wants to lose the power? Trump can't get up and say, I'm changing the law and going for a third term. Whereas in Africa, you could easily do that. You know what I mean? You could do it, get people to fight for you, and that's it. Who's really going to stop you? So that's the reason why they all get this power and they don't leave.
I think the thing that's really problematic about him is that he kidnaps young girls. Because I know he's not marrying women who are his own age, right?
He allegedly.
Or allegedly.
He allegedly.
Right. I don't want to get snatched.
And I don't want you to get snatched either.
So. He has 11 wives, actually.
Oh, 11.
11 wives. Listen, this guy they said that his annual budget is $61 million US.
How much is on his clothes?
I'll try.
So I'm saying like 63% of the people that live in Swaziland have spent $1.25 a day. So that's how poor the country is. It's one of the poorest. Yes, it's one of the poorest countries in Africa. And here goes the president living a lavish life. And it seems like every year he's marrying these young girls, and and it's like these girls are begging to be wifed up by him. Wow. Because when he he gets you as a wife, he spends all this money on you. He
Changes your whole life.
Yes, he changes your whole life. He lives such a luxurious lifestyle while the other citizens of the country, are suffering. So that's why a lot of, the citizens want him to step down. And I think it's right. He needs to step down. He needs to go. Swati, that's how you pronounce his name?
Swati.
It's Swati. I can't even pronounce your name. You need to go. It's time for you to go.
And the reason why he wanted them labeled with the AIDS is that a lot of people, they have AIDS. So maybe that was his way of trying to control the AIDS or stop the AIDS. But instead of him spending money on lavish things, marrying women and weddings, maybe he can invest that money in a better healthcare system to help control it, give out free condoms, educate the people, and control it instead of wanting to label someone, because that's definitely not a way to live by labeling
That
people.
means because of that, the promiscuous lifestyle of the people there will be very high.
Oh my gosh, of course, because I'm hearing stories about how girls are knocking on hotel rooms, begging to sleep with men just to get money because,
for $1.
For $1. There's something over there. Yeah, it's really, really sad. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next president that we want to see go. Who do we have next on the list?
The second president is the president of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni.
You're worrying.
I don't
You're
know.
worrying.
You're worried.
You're worrying. This guy's worrying.
I felt this picture is perfect for him because have you guys seen the video of the Ugandan parliament, the governors fighting
each other at the UN, right?
It's trending.
So they were fighting in the Ugandan parliament, and the reason that they're fighting is because right now the president is trying to push legislation so he can raise the presidential age. He's been in power since 1986, and the next election is in 2020.
All of us here.
Thank you. He's been in power since 1986, and the next election will be, I think, in 2021. So he'll be too old to run, so he's trying to push the age so he can run again and win.
Dude has been president since 1986.
1986.
And there's no election in this country till
2021.
That's a lifetime.
How many years per tenure?
That's like a 50-something.
Maybe 6 years. I think it's 6 years per tenure. That's too much.
No, that's not 60.
Okay,
no, it depends on when they do the elections and re-elections.
Oh, so they actually do have elections.
Yeah, because there's one coming up in 2021.
Has been in power since 1986. It is time for him to move. The reason I chose him is that people are feeling so passionate about it that you have grown adults who've been elected fist fighting to prevent this. The opposition and the Ugandan people do not want this. Everything you find online is like, he needs to move out of power. He has not done stuff for the country. Dude, do you need to be in power till you die? What's happening? Move, bro. So no to the president.
But can I say something? I do like the fact that people are fighting and people want him out.
They're passionate.
That is like an amazing thing that people want him out, and that's what these African countries, that's what we need to do. We need to be more outspoken. We need to stop being scared of the government, and we need to organize ourselves, movements, and do what we have to do to get these guys out, because that is ridiculous for him to run again in 2021. Like, give it up already. Hasn't he saved enough money? Doesn't he have enough money saved up already?
Honestly, some people like power is like a Hennessy. They just keep on drinking.
I think that's what it is. I think it's the fear of losing that power. Yeah. But listen, if you once a president, I think that power is still there. Regarding the respect, you're still gonna get the respect from the people if you're loved. So I don't understand why that chair must be real comfortable. If you want to be there for all these years, like, you need to go.
1986, bro. Resign, move on. You stole a lot of money. Just live in it.
Politics.
Next, let's go to the next person. Let's get this president done. Get them all moved.
Yes, we need to.
All right. So who do we have next on the list?
Another president that we feel needs to leave power is the president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma.
Yeah.
Jacob Zuma.
That president is all types of corrupt. First of all, he got into power through corruption. 2009. The former president before him, after Mandela, was Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki was a very good president, not so perfect, but they didn't even allow Thabo finish his tenure. They pressured him out of power in 2009, and he did this with a lot of people in power. So first of all, that is a democratic coup d'etat. Let me put it that way. So they entered through although there was an election, but they kind of used their own power to pressure Thabo. Thabo had to resign from power. And then Zuma got into power. Now, Zuma has been all types of corrupt. He has been spending a lot of the government funds in his own private apartment. He has a very big mansion in Nkandla. His village. He built a very big house, cost millions of dollars. He has not provided anything. Whenever they come for parliament meetings, I don't just know what's with these old men in parliament. They act like kids. If you watch South African parliamentary meetings, there's an opposing party called the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters. Those ones are young, they are youths, they wear red, like they've come, they're like, okay, ANC, you guys give us freedom from I can't pronounce it, apartheid, Abi.
Why are you asking me? Oh, apartheid.
No, me, I'm a local boy, no time. So, like, okay, fine, we know his party, ANC, was the party Mandela ran with, and that was how they got their independence, right? So, since then, that party has just been like the party, if you want to be a president, you have to be in ANC. And it's not supposed to be so because it's democracy, right? So somehow they rig elections and every ANC candidate always wins. So now Zuma is a president, this is his second tenure, people are tired, he's wasting the economic funds, they are spending money building statues, over $520 million for him, million naira for him, and the people of South Africa are like, okay, enough is enough. We are tired.
Do you know what is so sad about this is that Nelson Mandela went through so much. The people of South Africa have been through so much that you would think that their leader would really want what was best for the people.
Exactly.
With all the racism that went on then, that even still goes on there now.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's very current. It's a place, I haven't been, but what I've heard is like you go there and it's still very much so separated. It's still a lot of the blacks doing all the hard labor stuff. Why would the president not want what's best for the people?
I don't know. Before they even got their independence, whites controlled about 90% of the country's economic revenue. Right now, it's gone to 97%. So are we moving forward or we are moving backwards?
97%?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
tell you. The
That's a
whites.
large number.
Even Trevor Noah talks about like how white people own pretty much everything in South Africa. They might put black faces as the spokesmodel.
Just
or whatever,
like he's the spokesman. He's just there. He's a tool.
That's the same thing that I was just having a conversation with my friend in Ghana about. They were raving about how they were going to go to like this place in Ghana. I'm not even going to say the name because I don't want to give the name any type of publicity. And I said to them, yeah, that's a nice place, but why don't you go to this other place? Because that's also a rooftop, but it's owned by a Ghanaian. You know what I mean? Like, it's not owned by a white person. They're like, oh, but everyone. So I said, but it doesn't matter. Like, as Ghanaians, we really have to get together because we have to support what's owned by other Ghanaians. You're going to this other place that's not owned. That person is not from Ghana. They're going to take the money. They're going to go out. You're only going to make that person more richer. That person is going to buy and own more things in Ghana, whilst the real Ghanaians are in Ghana and are working for these people. So I'm like, go to level 8 instead. So speaking of that, another president that needs to go. This guy needs to go since like yesterday. I want to say some things, but I'm not going to say it because he's a president. This guy is the president of, I apologize if I say this wrong, Equatorial Guinea.
You're right.
That is actually, I said it great?
Yeah, perfect.
My education at FIT paid off. He needs to go. This guy has been president since 1979.
Jesus.
Once again, I don't understand what this is.
1979.
Are they all running for the longest running
since
president
August
ever?
3rd,
Yeah.
1979, he has been president.
Wait, what is his name actually?
Teodoro Obiang Nguema Basago.
Great
You need
pronunciation.
water.
Yes.
I told you that FIT education.
Wow, you did
Wow.
good. I don't care whether you got it right or wrong. He just has to leave, whatever his name is.
He looks like a humble guy.
I don't even want to know what he is about. All I know is that he has been president for way too long.
He's a dictator
And
at this point.
I don't see the country being like, let's say, the best country in Africa or so on and so forth. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as you've been president since that's a lifetime. Do you know how many people have been born since 1979 and are dead already from 1979 to now?
And even technological advancement, everything, every exposure, everything, the way the country is even run, their own thinking is different. Deal with it. It's a fact. Most of this old precedent, fine. They're old cultured, old mannered, but the way they think is different.
As Ivy assumed, it is a dictatorship.
Of course.
Oh, it's not democracy.
Oh, of course it's not. He's been president
No,
since
but some of them are
1979.
hiding under the canopy of democracy, but we know what they're practicing is dictatorship. You understand? Because they do elections. They do elections, right?
It's a dictatorship.
Guinea is actually a very rich country.
Yeah, it is. I was going to get to that. So it's actually it's an oil-rich country. So yes, it should be a lot of money there. But right now, only a small percentage of people are really enjoying that wealth. Most of the people do not enjoy that wealth. And that is because, unfortunately, a few years back, a deal was signed for the oil in that country by Texaco, I believe, which is an American company. And so Texaco owns 80% of the oil in that country, and that country only owns 20%.
Are you serious?
So,
how did that happen?
Well, that's a whole nother story. So that's what's going on there. You know, basically, all the riches there are not owned by the people from there. It's owned by foreigners. Foreigners are coming in and they're exploiting the country. They're taking the oil, a lot of other countries, and a little bit of what's left, the government takes it. I mean, how can the people be so poor, but yet the government, everyone's flying private jets, a lot of gold. I believe his son owns like a $36 million mansion in Malibu.
Wow.
They keep
like
the money
that.
in the family.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
He owns stuff in France, Paris. I could be wrong about how much it's worth, but he owns millions of nice cars. The son has several girlfriends. I mean, they're living the life whilst the rest of the country suffers.
That's crazy.
So this is one main reason why he needs to go.
That's why they have to go.
Yeah, he gotta go.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because him being in power for that long kind of like lands in the same as my top list, Mugabe. We've talked about this guy for so many times.
Life president.
Robert Gabriel Mugabe needs to go as well.
Yes.
Look at, he's sleeping. I was shady. I chose this picture specifically because I wanted you guys to see how ridiculous this guy is.
He was sleeping at the UN, right?
He was born in 1924. He's been in politics. He's been in as president since 1987, and he's still the president of Zimbabwe.
Wow.
This is crazy. Him and his wife are gangsters. I don't want him to be the president anymore. He's a dictator.
He's a dictator.
It's whatever he says or the highway. Don't like that at all. I mean, I read somewhere that Kwame Nkrumah, who happens to be Ghana's first president, actually inspires him. And I'm like, wait, what? How does our president inspire you? Because Kwame Nkrumah was like one of the great presidents of Ghana, freedom fighter. So I don't know why he made that relation. You guys know that his wife is Ghanaian?
Oh, really? I didn't know
Originally?
that.
Yes.
Grace
is Ghanaian. He met Grace when he came to Ghana to go to school. He went to, so that's where they met. I didn't know that, somebody in the comments said that, and I Googled it. I'm like, oh, here we go, all right. But yeah, Mugabe needs to go. Dictator, he's notorious. And
notorious.
He even chases people, as in they have their team, their committee. During the election, they chase people out of their homes to go vote. They make people do what they want them to do. Yeah. That's what Zimbabwe is all about. And if you don't like it, get out. That's how they are.
That's not how you should run a country.
No, at all.
He's so old. He's over 90 years old and still wants to be the president.
See, I wouldn't even mind if these presidents did whatever the hell they wanted to do, but at least stopped exploitation of Africa. That's my main thing, because the more you exploit Africa, what are we going to own? What are we going to have? Where's our culture going to go?
They're selling our birthright.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't see American Trump is doing whatever the hell he wants, but he's making sure the American economy is good. The stock market it's gone pretty high up since Trump's been president. Whether you like him or you don't like him.
Bad?
That's
don't
whether
you guys
you like
wish
him,
Trump was part of this countdown?
Right.
Would have been gone.
Listen,
but who is part of the countdown is the next president of Congo, Joseph Kabila. So the thing about Joseph Kabila, the reason, as we know, everything on the news with the Congo is terrible. There've been war, strife, etc. But really, the reason I think he has to go is because he was elected as president in 2006. His term was supposed to be expire in 2016, December 20th, 2016, but he just postponed it. So until 2018.
He postponed it. I don't
the
get
election.
Wait, what?
So he was elected in 2006.
Why he looks like a false prophet right now? That picture is ridiculous.
I know, I chose a shady photo.
Yes, you did.
He was elected in 2006, and then in 2016, his term was to be expired.
And he postponed
But he just postponed it.
Just like that.
I was like, wow.
Listen, I need to be president.
Right?
Listen.
The way they
like
around their
this.
system, like, you want to release album, it's not ready. Next year, I'll release it next year. I mean, really?
How is that possible that when I read that, I was like, but like, you could just do that? Yeah, I guess you can.
Wow, power. Absolute power.
It's absolute
corrupts.
power.
Absolutely.
And the crazy thing is, he's from a political family because his father was actually assassinated in office. Like, his father was president and assassinated. So this is a political family. They've been sipping on that, that water of power. And the thing is about the Congo is, like, it is rich like Guinea. And the thing is, it's just war. Like, there's so much suffering in that country that is appalling. And also this year, he shut down the internet for 15 days. So the thing is, he shut down the internet. He did it he's like, you know what? People who are blogging right now, those journalists, are enemies of the state. So he just shut it down. But how? How do you do this? How do you run a country? Like, it's just like, it's insane. So I do feel bad for Congolese people. I feel bad for everything they're doing. The country is so rich, it's beautiful, and it's just suffering right now.
And again, I look at like being president as kind of like a bartender, right? Any bartender that works anywhere is always going to steal. Like, it is known that bartenders always steal. Like, any business owner, any nightclub restaurant owner knows that bartenders always steal.
Yeah.
The problem, though, is like how much you steal. Normally, they know they're stealing, they let them steal. But if you're like stealing excessively, they let you steal. So we all know every government is going to have their corrupt ways, whatever it is. But the thing is, at least do something for your people. How much are you going to steal? How are you going to take it all and leave your people poor and hungry? Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
You know?
Because honestly,
crazy.
most people don't mind if you're stealing money. If they're living, if you built the roads, if you build the infrastructure, if you're doing it, they're like, well,
you chop,
he's
I
a
chop.
good president. Yeah,
I mean, they'll actually look at you crazy
chop,
if you're
I
not
chop.
stealing any money. Like,
Yeah.
what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
No, wait, T-Buddy, what did you say?
You chop, I chop.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's how it is.
That's how, but instead, the problem with a lot of these presidents that have been presidents since 1989 and all these other years is because it's just too much. You're just keeping everything for themselves and themselves only. And the gap between the rich and the poor, it's just way too excessive, with like literally 1% of the people living comfortably. That's horrible.
That's really hard.
Let's get into the next person.
So we're on number 7 on that
Yes,
countdown.
we're number 7, but I just wanted to say that I think Yazzie should go into politics.
Hey,
Yeah.
my friend, I beg. Oh.
Yes.
No, you have a good
President.
agenda. Like, I like the way you talk with passion. Like, you have the mind of the people. I like that.
All right.
Maybe I'll go for more like women empowerment stuff, but no
Yeah, that's
politics for
good.
me.
Yeah.
I'll stay away from the politics.
One way or the other, politics will look for you. That's just how it is. So number 7 is the president of Sudan,
Okay.
Omar al-Bashir.
I call them the sunny Sudan because that's where the sun comes from.
Yeah,
Oh,
well.
really?
I don't know. They're just black. Basically black.
Yeah, these people
I
are
could
black.
tell them
They are-
Sudan when I see them. They
Yeah,
are
They're
very,
very
This is a
black.
serious
But they're very
countdown.
beautiful.
They're
Yeah,
very
no,
Very
beautiful.
countdown. And their
Beautiful.
black is a
Purple.
It's a nice black. It has like this shine
Their black
to
is
it.
purple.
They're black. They're so black. They're
It
no
turns to
color.
purple
It
after
turns to
black.
purple.
Okay.
But that's because nobody's actually the color purple. I mean, nobody's actually the color black. Like, you never really see a human being that's black.
That
Normally,
black.
you're so beautifully dark-skinned, you're so melanated
Yeah.
that you start to look a little bit blue or purple because that black color doesn't exist in human
All right, so
beings.
back to Sudan.
Yeah.
Why should this guy go? Why do you want to see him go so bad?
First of all, as usual, he has been the president since 1989.
That alone.
1989.
Just go.
Waiting
Listen,
happen.
I wasn't even born
1989.
yet.
I
That was
know.
before the internet.
And he
That was
entered.
before iPhone.
Okay, Windows was already out. Yeah, before Apple.
Yeah, Macintosh wasn't even out. Yeah.
And now they are using the Macintosh, but that's not the issue. The issue is that he came into power through coup d'état, a very strong coup d'état, as in his second name is known as the president of war. Because since 2005, where they wanted to try to negotiate the separation or the end of the war, that was when they had South Sudan and Sudan. And since then, they've been at war. And he's not doing anything about it. Innocent people are dying in the country. He's like a dictator, like you guys say. But all of them claim it's democracy. But I don't know what kind of democracy is that. Normally, democracy, like our list, is supposed to be a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. But it's always about them, their family, their grandkids, and corruption is his what? What is corruption? Corruption is his daily bread. Yeah, let me use it that way. So I think this guy is too old to be in that seat. And
Too
the country
greedy.
has been in war. Exactly.
It's
You
too
can't
much.
even end the war in your country for how many years? Then what are you still doing there?
You know, the thing
Were
is,
they still
Sudan-
fighting?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And the
Till
thing
tomorrow.
is, it's ISIS is really strong there too.
Yeah, very
So
strong.
it's like, the people are so impoverished, and then a radical group is coming in, giving them food, giving them, something to do, and it's just crazy.
It's disgusting.
It's a bad situation.
All right, so
Listen.
Yazzie, what do you have for us?
Number 8, and I apologize again if I say this name wrong, but I'm gonna try to use my Montessori
This is
skills.
a strong name, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I
Yo.
did go to Faith Montessori in Ghana and Busy Bee, so they teach you how to learn how to spell phonetically. So I'm gonna try that right now. His name is João Manuel Goncalves Lorenzo.
You tried.
He's
I give you 70.
Lorenzo. It sounds like French.
Gonzalez
Right, a little bit.
Lorenzo.
Yes.
What president? What country?
He is the president of Angola. And I believe
Portuguese.
Angola is in South Africa.
Southern Africa.
Yes, South Africa. Not in South
No,
Africa, the
because South
country,
Africa
but
is
it's
a
in the
country.
southern part of Africa.
English people, where don't sir?
Actually, this guy is a successor of the ex-president of Angola.
Yeah.
And that guy was president for like 38 years or something like
Yes,
that.
that's
But
true.
he just succeeded him this past September. However, the reason why I have an issue with him and I think that he has to go anyway is that he was very, very much so involved with that president. Like he worked for that president. He's had several
I think he was the
positions.
secretary of the state government.
He's
something like that.
had like 5-6 positions with that president, and that ex-president is actually still the head of that party. So basically, it's like, okay, yeah, you're not president anymore. We have a new president, but really, he really still is president.
Yeah.
He really still is
true.
calling all the shots. You know what I mean?
The
So
same
it's like,
agenda.
let's make the people feel as if, we're giving them change, we're bringing something new. But no, we're really not, because I'm still really the boss. And I mean, this is a country that went through like a 27-year civil war.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go through change, you really need real change. As in, like, it probably should have been like a totally different party. The opposing party should be president, not this guy.
Maybe they were not strong enough, because of corruption. Because most of these elections are rigged. Whoever is in power always, when they finally agree, okay, I'm tired, let me leave, they always want to put their person in power. That's one thing with African presidents. At least we saw what happened in America. Against all odds, Trump is different, right? But when it comes to African presidency, when they want to finally leave power, they always want their successor to be somebody they can control. So it's almost like they're on vacation and they're still presidents. It's terrible.
And like a lot of very poor African countries, this country is super rich in oil. Super, super wealthy in oil that there's no reason why this country, from the last results from 2012, that's the last time they did a research like that. This country is 148 on the list of 168 countries in terms of development. That goes to show you how poor they are. 94% of the population is poor. Most of the country is extremely poor. There's no reason why this should be going on while the presidents are flying private jets,
Exactly.
Gucci, Louis Vuitton.
So would you guys want the president? I know we're talking about that presidency and all of that, and we keep talking about how all these presidents have money.
Luxury.
Would you guys feel any better if the president is poor as well? Like it doesn't
I
look
would,
right.
No. I would feel better if the presidents just share the wealth. If you have, you cannot have 104.
Share the wealth.
You cannot
chop, I
have
chop.
104. Some of these presidents, they have $144 million in apartments. Like they found it. You know what I'm saying? You have cash in apartments. This is one of your apartments.
No, but you have a problem with the president having their own jet. How is he supposed
Can you just not have 10 jets? Can you have one?
Okay.
Can you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying,
Yeah.
let's control.
You have to be
the greed.
frugal.
Yeah, just be just control the greed a little bit. Calm it down.
a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit.
All right, so we're going to move on to number 9 on the list. And number 9 on the list is the president of Cameroon, actually. His name is Paul Biya. So Paul Biya was born in 1933. He has been presidency since 1982.
Jesus.
So here we go again.
All of them, 90s, 80s and 70s.
They're just greedy.
Here you go again. So the reason why I want this man to step down is he hasn't come through with all his promises to the people of Cameroon. The people of Cameroon, most of them are still suffering. His first wife died without telling the people of Cameroon how the wife died.
For real?
He always keeping secrets from the people of Cameroon. He makes few appearances, so there could be like days and weeks where nobody knows where the president is.
He's a celebrity.
He's a liar. So he needs to step down immediately.
Also shut down the internet. And the thing is, there's such strife between the Anglophone and the Francophone part of Cameroon that, like, he could solve it by just listening to both parties. But he refuses.
Yes.
He refuses.
Yes.
So it's just like he disappears, like you said.
Yes.
So go away, bro.
And the people of Cameroon do feel like he was
the ghost.
The people of Cameroon feel like he was the reason, like he's one of the reason why the separation happened.
Yes.
And it's causing like tribalism in between the people of Cameroon.
Exactly.
He needs to go.
Yeah,
like bye-bye. Like tomorrow. Like not tomorrow, like now.
Yeah. Honestly.
And have you guys also noticed something about all these presidents we listed? Apart from the fact that they are all old, a cake, they are like Windows 1 in their experience. They all started in the 80s and the 70s. What's happening? Like, are we saying these brilliant young men who are global icons now that are becoming young billionaires at 30 and 40 can be presidents? Do you have to have a certain age or reach a certain age before you can contest for position in Africa? What's the problem?
Well, the thing is, Africa also respects, like, Africans respect age. So, that's another thing, part of our culture, I think. I mean, we can't speak for the whole continent, but I do say that a part of our culture, we do respect age, and it's supposed to be respect, but we do have to now
think about it.
We have to think about the future and youth of the future. If you were born before the internet, bro, I don't, like, you don't even understand what's happened. Do you understand social media?
Yes.
Do you understand that it's not the enemy of you?
Yes.
A lot of these presidents think it's the enemy.
They just shut it down. Why are you shutting it down?
That's not the enemy.
And you know that whatever you're doing in the dark, people are still going to find out and hashtag it, and we are all going to find out.
Exactly.
He's divided Cameroon more than uniting them.
Exactly.
He has set Cameroon back 100 years.
He really has.
And he needs to step down.
Thank you.
Point blank.
The next president who needs to step down is the president of Togo. Fori Janazibi.
I think it's Nasingbe.
Yeah, Nasingbe.
The G is silent.
Nasingbe.
Nasingbe.
Thank you. Fori Nasibe.
Foreign Nasingbe.
That sounds actually more reasonable than whatever I was saying before. So the reason I feel like he needs to go is that he's another president that has shut down the internet and for several days. In addition to that, his father was actually president for 40 years.
Jeez.
40 years, 4 decades. And then he succeeded his father. And now the Togolese people are saying, you know what? We need to change the voting system. We need to institute presidential terms and limits. You need to, and so they're essentially saying, you need to go, bro, and we're not going to vote for you again. Vote for you again.
Yeah.
I don't know how he keeps on winning elections. But the thing is, he shut down the internet recently because...
For how long?
For like 15 days.
I think he's done it twice.
Wow.
And he's done it twice.
2 weeks.
And the thing is...
no Instagram for me. Problem.
The reason that he shut down the internet is there's all this like all these protesters are protesting against him and what he's doing. And so he said that the internet and social media is the enemy of the state and therefore shut it down. But he only shut it down because of the protests. And people just want change. People want him out of office. And honestly, just listen to the people. Go, bro. All y'all need to go. That's the one thing I'm saying about this list. Not only do we want these people to go.
All of them.
You need to stop shutting down the internet. It's hurting. Because the thing is, people only think, that's what I'm saying. All these old people just think, it's just shut down the internet and people stop talking. No. You shut down the internet and you're hurting your country. You're hurting your economy. You are hurting your products. You are hurting yourself. You're hurting your people. Like, you're shutting down the internet. You're shutting down people's business. You're shutting down Africa's growth. So first of all, every single president who has ever shut down the internet in Africa needs to go because you don't even understand how money works, bro. So like, all that, everybody who has been running the country since 1970, since 1980 something, all these no. Before 2005, I'll give you 2006. Before that, all y'all need to go.
Yeah, I like your terms.
And it's sad because you are a president of the country. You're supposed to love that country.
Yeah.
Those people are supposed to be in your soul.
Yeah.
Presidential, that's a lot of responsibility. You are this beacon of light, and these people have turned their power positions into this feast. They're eating all the natural resources. They're stealing their people's birthright. If you are born in Africa, if you're born in Cameroon, you're born in Guinea, you're born in Nigeria, you're born in Ghana, you should be able to live on the. That is your ground. That's the place you've been there for centuries.
Yes, I'm really glad we are doing this countdowns because it gets to show that, listen, the people have the power. It might seem like you guys don't have it, but we actually do. And the next election, please go out and vote. Don't sit there and be like, oh, I think people hate him and he's going to lose. No, that's the mistake that we did here in U.S. and now Trump is the president. So it's like you need to go out and vote him out. If you don't want him to be the president, vote him out. Don't just sit at home.
Yeah, and also I just encourage, like, you know, instead of raising our kids and just having them focus on being a doctor, being a lawyer, you can also raise your kid to be a politician, like raise him to want what's best for his country and look out for his people. I don't care if my presidents chop money, but you chop money and make us chop some small too. That's all that I'm saying. Chop whatever, make us chop. At least make it a place where we can live comfortably. We can have healthcare. We can have good education. Just simple, basic needs. It's just so sad that all these countries that we're speaking about, as you guys said, so much in common. Rich in resources, very rich in resources, rich in land, rich in soil, but these presidents want to be president forever. It's no reason why countries that have such nice resources should be poor. It's simple as that. They
are even the problems in the first place because they were the ones who signed those deadly deals that put their countries in those conditions 30 years ago. You understand? And they don't still want to leave so that the policies can change. Imagine your country suffering so much to fight for independence. Now they are fighting for freedom from their own president.
Listen, so there you go. We give you...
Charlie, can I just say one more thing? Another thing that's very important, this is very important to me, and I think it's important for all of Africa, is we need to stop letting the foreigners take over as well. We need to have our presidents and our economy build it in such a way that we own it, that it's ours. We don't want a situation where it is our birthright. We don't want a situation where years down the line, Black people don't own anything there. You know, that's all that we have. What do we have? Africa is all that we have left. And I think that that's a responsibility that falls a little bit on us sitting here, our viewers, and just anybody that has any sort of African descendants in them. It's your birthright.
Awesome. There you
Try
go.
to
We
own
gave you
things.
There you go. We gave you 10. Not one, not two, we gave you 10 presidents that need to go. Did we miss your president? Do you think your president needs to go as well? Let us know in the comments. All right? As always,
and tell us
the juice.
Tell us if Yazzie should be president
as well.
Yazzie for president.
And while you think about that as well, let us know in the comments what other countdowns you would like us to, do as well. As always, you're watching MinaTV. This is AVS.
Thanks for watching. And if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.